Good morning, ladies. Welcome to our Monday Zoom class. I'm filling in for Nicole today. I hope you're all dry and cozy in your homes. We're getting some good rain out there, so that's good news. Anyway, we're going to start with a good morning stretch, hip hinge. So shoulders are down, chest is open. Make sure your knees are nice and soft. You're going to hinge at the hips. Notice my knees are soft here. You should feel nice hamstring stretch there.
Please proceed to a
Dropping the hips and then reaching up over the shoulders as you come up on your toes. You get that nice calf stretch, okay? So first of all, the hip hinge. There's your hamstring stretch. Dropping the hips, not letting the knees come forward, right? And then reaching up over the shoulders if you can, up on the toes, okay? Good morning stretch. Dropping the hips and reach. Good. Hip hinge. Leading with my chest, nice flat back. Again, your knees are soft. Pushing the hips down, reaching up. Good, let's do two more. And you can make this sort of a flowing movement. Great, reaching up. All right, feet nice and wide now. We're gonna stretch out those inner thighs, open up those hips. If you can, you want parallel feet here. Pushing the hips back.
Begin set one.
I like to reach across the body here, feeling that nice inner thigh stretch here. Mindful of that knee not going past the foot. Take this off so you can hear me better. And you should feel, again, gentle stretch in that inner thigh and hip flexor, opening up the hips. Other side, great. And we're going to make this a little more dynamic, so we're going to move a little bit more quickly. Great. Still with good form, still focusing on that pushing the hips back, knee not going past the foot.
Excellent exercise.
Nice. All right, we're going to do a little balance, single leg reach here, single arm, single leg reach. I'm going to put my right arm over my right shoulder, reaching up. Opposite leg goes up right in front of the hip, a little bit of a hold, and a little bit of a hold. Good.
Begin set two.
So like a marching motion. If you can, working on getting the hand right over the shoulder. As we get older, we tend to get a little lazy about reaching up, among other things. So I see a lot of this, okay? And if you have a shoulder issue, that's okay if you can't actually reach over the shoulder. But if you can, you want to keep that as much mobility as you can get. So wherever you are on this, if it's here, that's okay. Try to get right over that shoulder, body allowing, okay? Good, a little bit of hold, great.
Stop exercise.
Marching, nice. And you're breathing, getting into that breathing pattern. You can breathe freely at home, mask free. Doesn't that feel like a treat when you're used to having the mask on?
Begin set three.
Great. All right, now we're gonna do a little booty kick. So, knees stay underneath the hips. Activation of those hamstrings, little hamstring leg curl, and we're going to add a row to this. On that leg curl again, activating the hamstrings, also dynamic quad stretch, which you should feel good. On that row, your chest stays up, shoulders are down. Nice and tall through the torso, ladies, all the way up, lifting your heart up. Great, shoulders stay down, all right? Awesome, let's do two more. Great, we're gonna go to a squat side bend. On the squat, feet about shoulder width apart, moving those hips back and reaching through the side, stretching the sides.
Begin set
Getting
four.
those quads, hamstrings, and glutes nice and warmed up for our first exercise, which is going to be a chair sit or chair squat. So you could do this on a bench or chair. I'm gonna add a little weight to it. If you'd like to do that, feel free. You can either actually sit in the chair and stand up, practice brief sit coming right up, or if you're able to, a little more advanced, would be just touching down with your booty, which I will demonstrate, and coming up. Are we breathing?
Stop exercise.
Nice.
Switch to the next.
All right, so I'm gonna add, I've got a kettlebell here that I'm gonna add. I'm gonna hold it just like this, okay? This is optional. This is just if you want more of a challenge. You can hold any weight you want. You don't have to do a weight. Remember, our motion is pushing the hips back.
Begin set one.
So you are pushing the hips back, touching down and coming up. Now, if it's too much for you to touch down, if you've got sensitive knees or sensitive back, and you need to do a brief sit, that's okay too. You'll be working those muscles, your squatting muscles, quads, hammies, glutes. So you can actually do a brief sit and then push through the feet, squeeze the glutes. Okay? Brief sit, pushing up, squeezing the glutes. Here's your inhale and here's your exhale. Good.
Stop.
So,
Exercise.
if you've got sensitive knees, there's no reason why you can't do this. Alternatively, you could do a wall sit, but we all need to sit during the day, so I encourage you to try the chair or bench sit. Now, if your knees are good and you need more of a challenge, you want to make this more challenging,
Set 2.
you're just going to touch down. So you're going to push those hips back, touch down, and come up and squeeze the glutes. Good. Hips back, push and squeeze. Now try to keep the chest up if you can. There is a tendency to drop the chest depending on your flexibility. You may not be able to keep the chest up too high, that's okay. But what you think about, looking straight ahead, keeping that chest up, squeezing those glutes up top. Should feel the quads, hammies, and glutes. Again, your core stays nice and tight.
Stop. Exercise.
Excellent. I'm going to just keep adding progressions here. If you've got a weight and your shoulders are good, you want to make this a little more challenging, I'm going to add press to this. So squat press. If you want to just reach up without a weight, you can do that too. So you have a shoulder issue.
Begin set 3.
So hips back and arms overhead. Good. Now, what does that do? We're working the shoulders now. Anytime you have a weight overhead, you've got the core working as well. Again, if you've got a shoulder issue and press does not work for you, you can do this without a weight or simply keep the weight at your chest. Okay? Hips back and squeeze the glutes. Good. Nice.
Stop.
Now, if you've got a weight going overhead, you should feel that heart rate a little bit more. So you should be nice and warmed up. I know I'm about to shed this guy. I'm going to add some pulses to my squat, continuing with my press. So feel free to add some pulses if you're able to, if you need more of a challenge.
Set 4.
Sticking with the original exercise, if that's enough for you, let's do 2 more and come up to a press. Awesome. Pushing those hips back. 4, let's do 5, 3, 2, 1, and press, squeeze the glutes. Good. Hips back, 2, 3, 4, 5, pushing through the feet, squeezing the glutes. Awesome. Again, 2, 3, slow and controlled, 4, 5, and squeeze those glutes. Let's do 1 more.
Stop exercise and switch
2,
to the next
3, 4, 5, and squeezing those glutes. Excellent, ladies. I'm going to take this with me over to a bench for my bent over row, which is going to work the upper back postural muscles. If you would like to do a standing version of this,
set 1.
you can do a standing version that looks like this, pulling that weight into the rib cage, boom, like that. I prefer the bent over version if you can do it because you're working against gravity, so it's a little more challenging. And for those of you who don't have heavy weights at home, you probably need a little more of a challenge. So if you're able to get into this position, back is nice and flat, my shoulders stay square, pull right in the armpit, and slowly lower. Now if you just have 5s at home, you can double those up.
Exercise.
If you're able to hold 2 in one hand, sometimes I do like sort of a crisscross thing with the weights. If you're able to do that. We're gonna do 2 on one side though, because we can. Because my sense is you probably don't have
Begin set
a super
2.
heavy weight at home, and these are really strong muscles. So we're gonna go ahead and do 2 on one side, shoulders square, pull right with that armpit, elbows in, slowly lower. And here's your exhale. And you want to slowly lower, not let gravity bring it down. You're controlling that lowering, working the upper back, postural muscles, keeping the back nice and flat, head and neck in that neutral position. Great. Slowly lower.
Stop exercise.
Let's do 1 more. And slowly lower. Awesome. Notice I'm not dropping my shoulders. Shoulders stay square the entire time. We're switching sides. Knee underneath the hip. Hand is underneath the shoulder. Shoulders square as you inhale. Exhale, pulling right to that armpit and slowly lowering. Good. With control. Get as much range of motion as you can on that pull back or pull in. Slowly lowering.
Stop.
Now, if this is feeling fairly easy, you just go through the break here with me. Mine's not too heavy, so I'm just going to keep going here. And you can take a break or continue through. Keeping good form, shoulders square, slowly lowering.
Begin
Great.
set 4.
Nice. And exhale, slowly lower. Upper back postural muscles, really important to keep those worked and strong so they can hold your posture, hold you more erect, and prevent the rounded shoulders that we see in a lot of people as they age. But we're not going there, right? Good.
Stop exercise and switch to the
Excellent.
next station.
Okay, moving on. We're going to do an ab exercise here on this bench. Sorry about all my stuff here, my mask. We're going to do some sit backs, which you can do this in a chair, you can do it on a bench. Great ab exercise, very gentle.
Set 1.
If you've got a back issue, you can control how hard you want to make this. Hands are going to go across your chest, shoulders down. You're going to lean back with a nice straight back until you feel those abs engaged. And then you're going to come forward, okay? So, sitting back, pulling that navel in nice and tight, and coming up. Now, if you have a sensitive back, this should be plenty for you. Again, you can control A, how far you're laying back, and B, how long you want to hold that sit back. If you're feeling like you need more of a challenge, I invite you to sit back with me this whole next set for as long as you can. Make it nice and challenging and just hold that isometric pose, pulling the navel in. All right, so I'm going to try that second set. Shoulders down, chest open, and up. Pulling that navel in, you're going to lean back until you feel those abs engaged. And if you can, you're just going to hang out here, okay? Keeping that navel pulled in. If you feel anything in the low back at all, I want you to sit up and start over, okay? Or continue with those breaks. If your back is good, you're just going to hang out here with me, feeling those abs really braced, working hard to hold you in this position. Keeping that navel pulled in. Excellent.
Stop exercise.
Nice. Now, again, I'm just going to keep adding some progressions. For those of you who would like to progress, I invite you to progress with me. Alternatively, you can stay with the previous exercise. All equally good, whatever works for you today. I'm going to add my little shimmy move that some of you know. So I'm going to lean back until I feel those abs engaged. And I'm going to add a little reach here, which is a little bit more intense and gets the sides a little bit more. This is only if you want a progression. It's much more challenging. Great, my shoulders are down, I'm reaching. Small movement, kind of like a little side bend. So I'm getting not only the front of the abs here, but also the sides. And I'm breathing.
Stop exercise.
Excellent. Final version, should we progress one more? Okay, final version of this would be to lift your legs if you wanted more of a challenge. Again, only if you want more of a challenge. So shoulders down, chest up, whatever version you're doing, you're bracing your abs from the beginning.
Set 4.
You're leaning back. I'm going to lift my legs up and do a little reach. Woo! Now you may feel your legs here a little bit as well too. Some of that's carryover from what we just did, but you are holding your legs up. And reach. Oh, ladies, how are we doing? Whatever version you're doing, I hope it's challenging. I hope you're bracing with the abs and breathing. Nice. Almost there, ladies. Are you warmed up? I am.
Stop exercise and switch to the
Excellent.
next station.
All right, we're gonna do a little balance arm exercise. So I invite you to grab if you've got 2 weights at home, I invite you to grab some weights. If you don't have weights, you can grab something in your pantry, cans of tomatoes, any kind of water bottle, whatever it is. I'm gonna place one foot in front of the other, so I'm working on my balance. I'm gonna be equally weighted here if I can, and I'm gonna do 5. Remember our 21s? I've done this with some of you. We're gonna do 5 reps here, stopping here, 5 reps from 90 to the shoulder. And then we're gonna do 5 reps full range of motion. All the way down, 5 reps, all the way up, and all the way down. Now again, the tendency here is to put most of the weight on the back leg.
Stop exercise.
For purposes of challenging your balance, I want you to put your weight equally if you can. And that's 5. Awesome. We're going to switch legs. So 15 reps in all, 5 to 90, 5 to the shoulder, and 5 full range.
Begin set.
All right, so here we go. We are equally weighted. Abs are nice and engaged. Good. Chest is up, shoulders are down. And there's 5. Now we're going to go 5 from 90 up. So just kind of a fun way to work the biceps. Excellent. And then full range of motion, all the way down, all the way up. I like to flip the full range. You don't have to, depending on your wrists or what's going on. But it's sort of a nice way to work the biceps. Let's do 2 more reps here. Last one. All right. Some of you may need more of a balance challenge. So if that's the case, I'm going to have you alternate simultaneously with the weights. Also, if your weights are
set 3.
not too heavy. So doing a little pumping of the weights here is going to challenge the balance a little bit more. Now, you're not losing your form here. Even though we're going a little faster, you're going to get the heart rate up a little bit more. Elbows stay pinned to the sides. You can choose how fast you want to make this, but I want you to not compromise the form. So shoulders down, chest open, pumping those arms. Nice. Working the biceps, keeping the core engaged, and working on that balance. Switching sides. We got one more set here, ladies. Again, try to be equally weighted here if you can. Knees are soft. Final set. We're going to pump these arms again if you can. Excellent.
Begin set 4.
Working the biceps, keeping the core engaged. Woo! Nice. Working on the balance, stabilizing with the legs, ankles, leg muscles, working to keep you straight here. Great job. Almost there. Nice. Woo! All right, we're going to head to the mat next. And I invite you to bring your weights to the mat. Also, if you've got a band,
Stop exercise and switch to the
I invite
next
you to have
station.
that handy as well. Okay, check my cheat sheet here, make sure I'm good. All right, so we're gonna do a pullover today. So we just worked the biceps, and now we're gonna work the back, chest, and triceps, all right, with our pullover.
Begin set 1.
Now, pullover you can do with 2 weights together. You're gonna engage your abs. The motion is hands behind you, not letting the lower back lift up off the mat, pulling right over the chest. Now, this should be good for most of you. If you want to do a little gentler version, if you have a shoulder issue, you can always hold one weight like this, sideways. And that's going to be a little bit easier. Also lighter if you need a lighter weight. But it's a great way to work the lats, your big back muscles,
Exercise.
chest, triceps, and then again, you're keeping your abs nice and engaged so that your lower back doesn't come off the mat, okay? So you should be able to do a fairly heavy weight here, shoulders allowing. So we're gonna start again, shoulders down. Now, if for some reason this motion does not feel good on your shoulder, you can do a skull crusher instead, which takes your shoulders out of the equation. But again, for most of you, I think this should work. It's a nice stretch as you go back. Again, working the lats, chest, triceps, and abs. There's your inhale. There's your exhale. Great. Nice.
Stop exercise.
Now, I'm going to add a bridge to the equation here for those of you who don't have a super heavy weight and you want to make this a compound exercise. I invite you to join me on this. I'm going to bridge up as I pull up, okay? This is optional. So you're going to engage your abs, arms go back, squeeze the glutes and come up. Great compound movement. You've got upper body, you've got core. Now you've added the lower body to the equation and you're squeezing those glutes, keeping the abs nice and tight. There's your exhale. Great job, ladies. Coming up and squeeze. Good. And squeeze. Now, if a bridge doesn't work for you, you can do
exercise.
No bridge at all, or you can just add a little pelvic tilt if that works for you. Sometimes that works for people who can't do bridges, and that's just tucking the pelvis, squeezing the glutes and the abs. We've got one more set. I invite you to hold the bridge the whole time, this time with me. If you're able to, you're going to establish that bridge from the beginning. You're going to hold it there. And if anybody wants to do a single leg here, you can do that. Maybe 5 or 6 counts on each leg. Which could look like this. Make sure those hips stay nice and even. If you're doing a single leg, let's switch sides here. Glutes stay tight. Hips stay even.
Stop exercise and switch
Let's
to the
do
next
2 more.
position.
Last one. Nice. Got a little overeager there. All right, if you've got a band, we're going to work the hip and glutes next with our band. You can do these exercises without a band as well. So no need to worry if you don't have a band. You're going to be on your side. And I invite you to put your head down because I don't want it to be stressed out. I don't want to stress your neck out. And we're just going to start. Everything's in a nice straight line. You're just going to start with a simple abduction or leg lift here. Now, I like to keep my foot dorsiflex, which means toes toward my chest. Lengthens the leg nicely. And a little bit of a turning with the foot, or at least parallel to the ground. Good. So, hip and glute right here, ladies. Small movement, keeping tension in that band.
Stop exercise.
Let's do 2 more. Nice. All right, set number 2. We're going to stay on this leg, and I'm going to bend in and extend out, okay? Take a break if you need it. Otherwise, we're going to keep going here. Everything's nice and straight. We're going to come knee up and extend. Good. So, adding some more leg muscles here, a little bit of quad, a little bit of ab on that knee coming up. On the extension, you're reaching with that heel. Ah. Breathing throughout. Not letting that knee drop. So even though you're bringing your knee up towards your chest, you're not dropping it towards the floor. And then reaching through the heel. Really lengthening that leg, ladies. Really lengthen. Ah, great. Last one. Reach and hold. Great. Switching sides. Woo! Felt that. All right, again, I don't want any stress in the head and neck, so I invite you to lay your head and neck down. And again, you can do this without a band, ladies. You do not need a band to feel this in the hip and glute. All right, if you've got a band, though, I do want you to keep tension in that band as you do a small lift here. It's very subtle. Oh, yes. Nice. Keeping the abs engaged. Head and neck are relaxed. They are not invited to this party. This is all lower body and core here, ladies. Upper body will be invited to join us in the next exercise.
Stop exercise.
Nice. All right, we have a quick break. Please take it if you need it. Otherwise, we're going to bend and extend, reach. on this second set. And extend. Nice. Set number 2 on this leg starts
Begin
now.
set 4.
If you didn't want to go through, there it is. Bend and extend. Ladies, are you feeling that hip and glute big time? Woo! I'm starting to burn here. Oh yeah. Woo! Well done, ladies. Hang with me. Not dropping that knee, keeping tension in the band if you've got it. Excellent. Almost there. Woo! Reach and hold. Last one.
Stop exercise and switch to the
beautiful.
next station.
All right, we're gonna lose the band and progress to our side planks. Now, if side plank doesn't work for you, you can do a modified side plank. Alternatively, you can do a front plank, raised up on a bench or chair as needed, or even on a counter if you need that more height. If you're doing the side plank, make sure your elbows underneath your shoulder, feet, hips, and shoulders all aligned. Abs and glutes nice and tight. I like to raise my arm up. If you're able to do that, that's great. So shoulders opened up, chest opened up here, holding here. Now you can also do that if you're on your knees. Same thing, make sure your knees are aligned with your hips and shoulders. Abs and glutes nice and tight. You can extend that top leg if you like. You can lift that top leg, although it might be a little tired. And focusing on the abs here, the side in particular. All right, switching sides. All right, how can we make this harder? Today I'm going to do a little hip drop, and that's only if you need to make it harder. So first you're going to establish a perfect position here, all right? Abs and glutes nice and tight. And with the hip drop, you can do this also if you're doing the modified side plank. It's just exactly what it sounds like. You're dropping your hips and coming back up, accentuating that side that you're working. In my case, it's the right side. Woo! Great. Now, this is only if your back is great and feeling really strong and you want more of a challenge. If you have a sensitive back, just doing the basic side plank should be plenty. This, again, is only a progression if you're needing more of a challenge.
Stop exercise.
Well done. All right, up in the ante a little bit. I'm going to hold a weight on my hip. Again, if you want more of a challenge, all right? Elbow underneath the shoulder. We're nice and lined up here, ladies. Hips are up.
Begin set 3.
A lot of stabilization going on. I'm going to continue with my hip drop with a weight. Nice. This is optional. I wonder if I can rest it there. This is for bonus points. If you can rest that weight while your arm is up. I don't know that I've ever tried this. Here we go. Woo! Nice, ladies. Feeling the side, keeping the glutes tight.
Stop
Excellent.
exercise.
Other thing to keep in mind is keep that head and neck in a neutral position. Sometimes people tend to drop it. So really important to keep it lined up with the spine. This is our final set, ladies. If you're doing front planks and you want more of a challenge, I invite you to do leg lifts during the pods.
Begin set 4.
Little knee drop, little Spider-Man, whatever you'd like to add, whatever's going to challenge you today. If you're doing the hip drop with me, woo, feeling that side big time. Glutes and abs, nice and tight. Breathing throughout. Well done, ladies. We are almost there in our home stretch. We're going to finish strong today. Grateful for our bodies for taking us through this workout. Feeling better because of it. Almost there. Nice.
Stop exercise. Your training
Well
is now
done,
complete.
ladies. Great job. Excellent. All right, I'm going to do one figure 4 stretch just to stretch out that hip that we worked so hard. I like to do this seated because you've got gravity working with you. You're at the edge of a chair. You're going to cross your ankle over your knee here. Nice and tall through the chest. And for some of you, this may be enough of a stretch. For those of you who need a little bit more of a stretch, I invite you to lean forward just until you really feel that hip opening up. This is a great way to open up the hips if you've been sitting for a long time at the computer or driving. Great way to open up the hips. Always helpful for that lower back, to keep a healthy lower back, to keep those hips opened up. And you're gonna hold here as you're breathing. And then switching sides. Other ankle over knee. Nice and tall for the chest, ladies. Either holding there or sliding forward to open up those hips. Shoulders stay down. You're breathing. Great. Couple more deep breaths. Well done. Let's shake those arms out. Inhale, ladies, crossing those arms in front. Exhale, reaching up nice and tall to the ceiling. And one more deep breath in as you inhale. Exhale, reaching up nice and tall. Thank you so much for joining me today, ladies. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Make sure you drink lots of water. Maybe you can get out for a walk this afternoon. It is supposed to clear up, so I hope you can get out and enjoy the beautiful, hopefully, afternoon. Hard to imagine now, but anyway. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Francie.